country in the world, and it is worth fighting for. It is worth bleeding for, and if it takes it, it's worth dying for the greatest country that this world has ever seen.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Dear America. Welcome to the Dear America family. Jump in the chat, hit like, hit share, hit subscribe, do all the things you need to do, and float those American flags in there. You don't even, in the chat, that's where I want you to, because a lot of you were thinking, like, where are we going to float them? Float them in the chat, okay? I want to see my Patriots in there. My name is Chad Prather. Of course, you heard the big news yesterday. It was trending all day yesterday on X, the news about our buddy Graham Allen. He's now at the Department of Defense. That's right. He has gone from the pickup truck to the Pentagon. I heard that yesterday, and I liked it a lot, and I think it describes the situation quite nicely. Some of you are having maybe a little bit of trouble trying to find the show this morning because over on Rumble, where most of you tend to watch us, we have to legally remove Graham's name. We're going to keep his voice in there in the intro. I think people are going to like that. So a little GA in the chat if you want to float that next to the floating American flag. Because we love Graham, we want to honor him as much as we can, but we have to remove his image and his name from a lot of stuff legally because now he's one of them top secret spies or something like that. I don't know. Next thing you know, there'll be news of us dropping Graham off a boat on the beach when he has underwear with a knife in his teeth, going out to stick it in some guy's neck. But you know what?
Sea turtles, mate.
Secret Graham, man. I'm excited, man. He was trending all day yesterday. So, listen, let's talk about name changes. Name changes are rough because especially in this business, you've come to find things by a certain name. I mean, it's funny how a simple name change can completely change an identity. I mean, one minute you're Bob and the next you change your name to Fabulous McSparkle. It gets confusing. All right. It can be, listen, name changes can be a sign of growth. It can be a sign of reinvention. It can be a new branding. You break up with your partner. Suddenly Jessica becomes Jazzy Jess because you're ready to live your best life. I don't know. We're just Dear America now. We're Dear America. And I know that, a lot of folks have trouble with change, but that's okay. We're going to be okay. I promise you guys, for professional reasons, for legal reasons, we are just... we're not changing our name to Cher or Oprah. We're Dear America. All right, that's the bottom line. We're not going to change our wardrobe. We're not putting on sequins and leather, although I'm sure Todd would like that.
Yes.
He would love that. So, and we're not changing our name for spiritual reasons. We're not going to be Moonbeam Harmony, when we used to just be Tim. All right? Have you seen Moonbeam? Oh, guys, we got so many stuff to get in here. We got so many things to get to today, man. I'm just telling you that we're going to have some fun around here. You don't have to call me Captain Amazing. I'm still just Chad. All right, so you don't have to worry about it. But if you're searching on Rumble, search Dear America. If people are asking, tell them to search Dear America. Dear America. It's not like we're Elon Musk and we're going to start naming our kids after stars, planets, satellites, or like Gwyneth Paltrow calling her kid Apple when everybody eventually just going to call her fruitcake. We're just Dear America. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit share. Again, my name is Chad. Chad is like a good, like I could be Oprah or Cher, just Chad. Just Chad. Whatever. Dear America. Okay. Guys, before we go any further, I want to remind you guys to still, at least for now, it's going to get confusing. Watch this. To text Graham to 989898. We will get this one changed to Dear America as well. Text Graham to 989898 so that you can get your free, no obligation info kit to Birch Gold, and they will tell you how to solidify and secure your savings for your retirement by backing it up with actual precious metals, specifically gold. There was a big conversation yesterday amongst Donald Trump with Emmanuel Macron there in the White House as he was talking about, we're going to open up the doors, we're going to see if there's any gold there. I would love to audit Fort Knox. That would be a fun little Geraldo Rivera experiment, but Birch Gold has the gold, and they will back up your IRA and your 401k with gold. You need to find out how to do that. Every single person in the Dear America family needs to be a part of the Birch Gold family and make sure that at least a portion of your retirement is secured by precious metals. You do that by texting Graham, Graham, to 989898. Do not send Captain Sparkles or Jazzy Jess over to 989898. Make sure it is Graham, at least for now, until we get that name changed. Woo, boy, so many challenges. This is not the Department of Government Efficiency, I can tell you right now. Text Graham to 989898. Let me bring on some help. I need all the brain power I can get this morning. Have no fear, folks, at least for now, until who knows what he's going to do in the days ahead, because he's all up and coming. Have no fear. Producer Royce is here.
What's up? I am Royce, and I do have beard. It's nice and thick again. It is thick again.
DDD
You do have beard.
DDD MMM.
That would be fun. DDD MMM.
You need a shirt.
If you ever, I was last night. AI is dangerous, and let me tell you why it's dangerous. Not because of all the nefarious things you can do with it, but because of all the time you can waste creating images on that thing. And last night I created a picture of Todd and me and Tony together, like the three amigos. I showed it to Party Foul Steve. He said, "That's not a Mexican head." Let's get the response from an actual legitimate, bona fide Mexican head. Mexican Tony's here.
Good morning, everybody. Steve might have some legit statement there. Chad, I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know what a traditional Mexican head looks like. I mean, I'm usually wearing a hat. I haven't seen my head in probably 10 years. I'm wearing a hat all the time, so I have no idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, he could have.
I see that facial hair, Tony.
Yeah.
Look at it coming
Tony's
in
got some
nicely.
facial hair going.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch up to you, Royce, but it's not working. So. Yep.
Coming in nicely.
Hey, by the way, Chad, it's not hard changing your name. I mean, I've changed my name like 6 times. My actual name is Miguel Carlos Hernandez de la Cruz, but I go by Tony. So, I've changed Social Security numbers like 10 times. So.
Is Miguel Carlawaha?
Yeah, exactly.
Let me write that down. Let me put that in the computer here. Wow, that's cool. Lot going on. You know who else has a lot going on? But it's okay. He sprayed himself down with Raid and got rid of the little bugs. Your favorite redneck, Hot Seat Todd.
So I literally, thanks to the Dear America, then the Birch Gold, I've got to spend the rest of the episode. I spit my drink out on myself when you did that, so now I'm stuck to myself. Thanks, Chad.
You know what? I'm going to leave that one alone.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave that one alone. Speaking of somebody that's stuck to themselves, Madam Eyelash is everybody's favorite congresswoman from Texas, Jasmine Crockett. She got a fresh weave working. Here's what she had to say. She wants to let all of you conservatives know just how ignorant you are. Play this clip.
Like, and we know, like, this isn't me trying to throw shade. These are just the facts. When you look at who's voting for who, the less educated folk, and when I say educated, I'm not even talking about formal education. I'm talking about people that literally don't want to read and enlighten themselves on facts. Those are the people that typically vote for the Republicans, and it's one of the reasons that we have to stop writing in theses as Democrats, right? Like, we want to give you every single little detail that we can find so that you can have all the information. But the reality is that the average person that is going out there and voting, they're not paying attention to that. Like, and we know, like, this is
We got to stop writing in theses.
Theses.
I think
No
you're
more
writing in.
theses.
I think you're writing in feces. I think there's a lot more feces, Jasmine, than there is theses. She wants to let you know that you're not well read. Oh boy, I'll tell you what. Let me tell you. Every time I get in the chat, or every time I post something, I'm not the smartest dude in the world. There's no question about that. I just like to throw stuff against the wall sometimes, see what sticks. But I learn more from people in the chat, just watching, checking out, seeing how they respond, what they have to say. I don't know about you guys, but the first step for me to critical thinking is asking myself, how am I wrong? Like, where am I wrong? That's a key to
She has
critical
never
thinking.
thought that in her life.
No, not at all. She just
She's
starts
never
spitting
wrong.
stuff. She just starts spitting stuff out there and expects you're going to take it because she's black and she's a female, and so therefore you automatically have to listen to her. I mean, that's the problem you get into when it's like BLM or believe all women or something like that. Now, what would she say to black conservative women? She would say, well, they're not smart either. They're not well read. We got to stop writing in theses.
Yeah, I'm telling you, and this is just a thought. I said this yesterday on the hot seat. Between AOC, Maxine Waters, this Epitard, and Ilhan Omar, like I really think, and I'm serious, all they're doing, and AOC telling people how to break the law to avoid ICE, Ilhan doing the ridiculous stuff that she's doing, Maxine trying to punk that dude at the Department of Education, almost starting a riot. It's almost like they're trying to get arrested. They're trying to get cuffed. So then we see the next headline saying, well, Donald Trump is a dictator. He is a Caesar. He is a Hitler. And you guys know it as well as I do. People will believe that crap. Like if one of those people get arrested, people will believe that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it becomes a method of witchcraft. If you can just say something over and over again, then it starts to manifest in their mind, and it becomes a talking point. And if Donald Trump is a fascist, he's the first fascist I've ever met that wants to let you keep your guns, wants to reduce the size of government, and keeps appointing people of color and women. They're not going to celebrate Kash Patel being the first Indian American to be the director of the FBI. And he's tapped Dan Bongino, who I don't know what color Dan Bongino is, but I've never stopped to think about it.
I think he's Italian.
I think he's Italian. I mean, Bongino. Yeah, I mean, so I'm telling you, those Italians, they'll get you. Especially when you give them authority.
It's interesting that she's calling people out who she's saying that people aren't educated and that are Republican that voted for Trump, because the black vote, just the black vote, Trump got almost double in 2024 than he did in 2020. So she's calling out her whole black community there, which is not smart. Obviously, I mean, when you're a politician, you want your supporters to support you, but you're calling them pretty much idiots. I mean,
all I gotta say is just, ladies, keep doing it because it's working. Please, just keep doing it.
And I will encourage you guys. Todd called it out over on his Instagram. I saw it this morning. If you're not following Todd Spears 7076, Hot Seat called it out. Sure enough, Joy Reid in her parting deal last night, she took a minute and a half to say goodbye and tell you how racist America was and how you could find her over on Substack. Of course, that's where the losers go.
It was so
they
great.
always go over to Substack. And then she started pointing out the fight for equality on the part of blacks throughout the history of America. And she kept using Republicans as examples. Can't make it up. Can't make it up.
Nope.
Oh, boy. Speaking of shutting down ignorant people, our good friend, the Secretary of Defense, Mr. Peter Hegseth, this was when he was asked a very stupid question yesterday. Mic drop moment. Play the clip.
Why did you select an underqualified retired lieutenant general to be the next chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff?
I'm gonna choose to reject your unqualified question. Who's next?
More of this. Pete
See?
in the chat. Pete in the chat. Pete in the chat. This is, you give me more of this, I'll take all the years of this administration I can handle. I'm already wanting a third term. You know what? Put it out there.
I told y'all I could work at the White House. I mean, all day right here.
Yeah,
all day.
but here's the difference between Pete Hegseth and Todd Spears. He said what he said and moved on. You would have doubled down. You would have kept going.
That's true.
That would have been the
He
problem.
also would have used more choice words.
Probably.
And Todd, you probably
Listen here, you.
Yeah,
Todd, you probably would have
Epitard.
climbed over that
Pete
table and started strangling that dude in front of everybody.
Pete in the chat.
Yeah.
So
Look
the
at that.
question, some of you are asking, the question is, why would you replace someone that was already in the Department of Defense in a place of authority? Why would you replace him with an unqualified candidate? Now, again, they want to talk about unqualified candidates. They want to continually talk about people who either, don't have the qualifications. That's been the buzzword lately. Just yesterday, they said this about our buddy Graham Allen. Todd, you said you saw the press release. Who put that out there?
Yeah, I want to look that up now.
They put out a press release yesterday that said...
so it's some jackass named Scott Waldman.
Scott Waldman.
And he wrote, the headline is, Pentagon Communications Job Goes to Podcaster Who Spreads Conspiracy Theories.
Yes.
I love it. More, baby. More.
What is it? I would love to know, what's a conspiracy theory that Graham Allen has spread?
Well, he says Graham Allen has called climate change an attempt to the left to spin fear. So I haven't read the whole article yet.
Don't have a problem with that. Climate change is a cult. So let me go on record as saying that the climate alarmists, they're cultists. It's been a way to raise money out of fear. So now you have that on record in case anybody calls me up to the White House.
How dare you?
Was it when Graham said that COVID came from a lab in Wuhan, China, or that the vaccines didn't work, or this and that? Was it when he said all that that was proven true?
It's proven true.
When they used to call him a conspiracy for all that stuff, but now I guess he was right.
Yeah.
But because he used to be a conspiracy theorist in our eyes, we're going to call him that from now on.
Oh, it's Politico. It's Politico.
Of course, it's Politico.
Yeah, I can
He
read
wrote it on Politico.
I can read it if you want me
Give
to.
us
It's
a little
great.
piece. Give us a little juicy
it's great.
piece.
A podcaster who denies climate change, spreads conspiracy theory, is now a top communications official at the Department of Defense. Graham Allen, who hosts Dear America podcast, announced on Monday he had been appointed to the DoD job that he would not name. His post on social media website X said only that President Donald Trump and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth invited him to Washington. All right, hold up. There's more here. Oh no, got to get full access.
That's fine. We're not paying $7.99 a month to Politico.
Not to read your. He also says Taylor Swift is a witch who attracted fans through some kind of satanic music.
But still,
I don't
where's
see the lie. I don't see the false fact there.
Now he did say that.
What's that guy's first name again?
Scott Waldman.
Says, well, Scott, prove him wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, all you got to do is prove him wrong. You can't prove that maybe Taylor Swift didn't cast a little spell on the Swifties.
I put a spell on you.
We are never, ever, ever getting back together, Scott. So, keep on shutting them down. Speaking of shutting them down, we're trying to work on this thing called voter fraud and the legitimacy of elections. That must be another conspiracy out there. A conspiracy that says that Joe Biden got 85 million votes in 2020. Okay. Trump tells the governors to their face that we're going to end the mail-in voting. And before you play the clip, let me remind everybody, in states like Oregon and Washington, you can only do mail-in voting. That's it. Like, you can't take your ballot and just hand it to somebody. You got to drop it in a box.
Very true.
So, I mean, you remember the clip that came out in Washington back during the election where they were setting the boxes, the ballot drop-in boxes, on fire. And people were having to dig the ballots that were on fire out of there. That was in Washington. Play this clip.
One other thing, I just before we leave, I think you should do this. For my safety and security and for the good of our nation, you should do it anyway, regardless, even if it costs 10 times more. But it actually costs you just a tiny fraction. If you went to paper ballots and you're voting, and I would hope that every Republican would. So it costs exactly 8% of what the machines cost. These machines, they got something going. They get business. It's amazing. So paper ballots, and paper is very sophisticated today. It's called watermark. It's impossible to copy, impossible to cheat. It's actually hard to believe that a piece of paper is highly sophisticated, but it's watermark, and it's it's amazing actually when you see it. You can't cheat. But if you went to paper ballots and same-day voting, and if you went to voter ID, and also one other thing, you want a proof of citizenship. Those four things: proof of citizenship, voter ID, paper ballots, one-day voting.
Simple.
Very
That's
easy.
the way.
Yeah, and to Jasmine, what we talked about earlier with Jasmine Crockett, the uneducated that don't read and educate themselves. Okay, so in order to go to school, buy a gun, alcohol, go to a casino, cigarettes, drive a car, get a bank account, buy a house, rent a house, you got to prove who you are. Like, you got to prove who the hell you are, but you don't have to do it to vote. Like,
No, and don't forget Maxine Waters, when she was trying to get in the Department of Education, that guy was standing in her way. She kept asking for his ID.
Yep.
I mean, how racist? How racist is that? I love what Donald Trump said. You know, sadly, after the plane crash, when he was giving the press conference about the DEI thing, the one thing that stood out to me is he said, a lot of this is common sense. It's common sense. You know, listen. Let me tell you what expires. Your driver's license expires, your passport expires, you have insurance that expires. I mean, there's all these things that have your tag on your car, it expires. So, hey, why don't we make it so that your voter registration expires too, and you need to go back and re-register to vote? I've said forever that we need to clean the voter rolls, do it legally, but we need to find out who's dead, who's a citizen, who's lying, how many people are getting multiple ballots in the mail. How many times have these places that allow for the mail-in votes like this, they never go Republican, ever. They never go Republican. I think if you had a true, fair, balanced, honest election where people had to show up in person, show an ID, and by the way, all the states that went for Harris, they don't require voter ID. So when you start putting two and two together, it is common sense. But I mean,
Chad,
Tony,
Chad,
what you got?
We had this conversation in my house during the voting cycle before the election, and I remember just talking with my daughters and my wife, and we were like, you know, part of being a citizen in the United States is you have a responsibility. You have a responsibility to go out there, vote. It's not. I mean, we were standing in super hot weather in line in South Carolina. You know, show your ID. You know, wait in line, prove who you are, you know, and you know, write in your ballots, or, you know, obviously with the machines. Oregon, when I lived in Oregon, it was nothing like that. You literally filled out in the comfort of your home, drop it off and go. And yeah, it was nothing like that. And like I said, part of us living here in this great country of ours is that we do have a responsibility to not just vote, but to do it legally. We have the right to vote. We have just to Todd's point. You know, you have to prove when you want to buy cigarettes, alcohol, a gun, you know, a house. Everything has a background check to it. You know, when you're renting an apartment, why not? One of the most important things in our country is electing officials, whether it be the president, governor, mayor, whatever. Why is it not just the same thing to have some sort of security protocol in place to do that? I mean, you literally have to take a test and prove who you are to get a license to drive. I mean, it just makes no sense that voting, that the governors and all other states have their own way of doing things it makes absolutely no sense why they wouldn't require people to prove who they are.
Man, you can't even cook meth without a photo ID because you need to get Sudafed.
You got to take that little piece of paper out of the pharmacy.
Yeah, no.
I can't buy spray paint at Walmart without showing my
That's true.
ID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spray paint.
And listen, I see the chat blowing up. I'm not saying that car registration or anything. I'm not justifying that. I'm just saying they make you do it. They make you do it. If they make you do that, then they should also verify if you're going out there to vote. I mean, all the things that they do. I mean, how many times when you're driving down a toll road, which the tolls never go away on the highway, they keep paying those Japanese companies, and they're going to take a pic. They got a deal. It takes a picture of your car. Don't be in the car with your girlfriend if your wife's at home because they taking a picture of you out on the highway. I'm just saying, I don't know any of that from experience, but I'm just saying that they're going to identify you with cameras. Why can't they identify with you when you walk into the daggum airport? They take a picture of your face now. They scan your face. You don't even have to show them your passport when you go through customs anymore in most airports because international terminals got a deal that identifies your face when you walk in the line.
I remember, I believe it was California where they were registering people to get their driver's license, all the immigrants, plus they were registering them to vote as well. They were literally trying to steal the election from us back then because of their whole crappy voting system they have over there. So yeah, we need to get rid of all that.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about our friends over at Patriot Mobile. They will not require, maybe they will require some form of identification before they set you up with a new cell phone plan. I don't think so, though. Not a big deal. You just need to call and tell them your name. And when you call them, you can get that 100% U.S.-based customer service team that's based right there in the U.S. of A. Go over to patriotmobile.com, still /Graham, and use promo code Graham and get a free month And also, they got the plan for the cell phone. And the package is going to fit your budget, fit your family, and you don't have to worry about dropping calls because they got the coverage that all the others have. They're operating off the same towers. So Patriot Mobile does not spend any portion of your hard-earned money when you pay your bill to leftist progressive causes like Planned Parenthood. They support your Bill of Rights and your constitutional freedom. So they are America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. Check them out, Patriot Mobile. They'll switch your number, give you a new phone, all kind of different things. And whatever you need to do, if you need a whole new setup, they can work that out. You can call them at 972-PATRIOT and talk to them, or go to patriotmobile.com/Graham. There's no reason any of us should be using one of the big three. They don't like you. They hate you. They use your money for nefarious purposes. So check out patriotmobile.com/Graham. You're like, it's an inconvenience. Just do it. Use promo code Graham. They'll give you a free month, man. There's no reason not to put your money where your mouth is. All right, guys. How do we want to do this? So we don't have the Epstein list. That bothers me. We were promised that. It was kind of a day one promise for Kash Patel.
He did say within 24 hours.
He did say that. Pam Bondi said last week that she had it on her desk along with the other files like JFK. I would love to see in the chat what you guys find the most important. Is it what files do you want to see? Epstein, Diddy, JFK,
I want it all.
MLK, do you want to see Las Vegas, 9/11, Benghazi, Fast and Furious? There's so the 2020 election. I want to see the deal. I want you to put all of it in the chat. All of it in the chat. All. ALL.
All.
In the chat.
But here's the thing, Chad. I don't just want it all. I want it transparent. I don't want no blackout, no redactions. And look, that's my choice as an American. If I choose to read it, or not. Like, I mean, that's my choice. I want it all. The fact that Pam Bondi said this weekend, and it's Tuesday, it's on my desk for review. I'm sorry. I love Donald Trump. I love what he's doing. This is a mistake. This is not transparency.
I just put on X right there. Thank you for that, Todd. I just made a post. Released, not redacted. Let's go.
Let's do it.
I want to see it released, all of it. I want the Epstein list now. I put that on X last night. People were mad at me. They were like, "This takes time." No,
it doesn't.
It doesn't.
It's as easy as here. Put this out.
Right. The people said, "Well, there's going to be fallout from it." You dadgum right. There's going to be fallout from it. They said, well, we wanted to make sure that the Department of... Oh, stop with the excuses. I did deep dive investigative journalism. I did deep dive stuff on The Blaze back whenever Trump was in office the first time about Epstein. They've had the time to get the stuff in place. Do you think they just read it today? Like Pam Bondi just goes, oh, well, there it is. The Department of Justice has had this stuff. The FBI has had this stuff. They've had time to be ready for the fallout.
Well, have you also
Epstein
heard
client list now?
I've read several reports that like Kash and his new group has come in and they are deleting files left and right.
That bothers me, dude. I mean, there is an FBI whistleblower. But take this for what it's worth. A whistleblower has revealed that the FBI has begun deleting and destroying files that could be linked to the Epstein list, erasing them forever with no chance of recovery. FBI has been working day and night to destroy files on its servers. Now, I love Kash. I think Kash is a great guy. I believe Kash he's an honest guy. And like I pray to God that's not what's going on.
Me too.
I don't know if the deep in the inner bowels of the bureaucracy of the FBI this is happening. We've said forever that the paper shredders are running on high. But this is a watershed issue for me. This is a hill I will die on.
Yeah, facts.
I don't care who likes me, doesn't like me, who wants to. I'm not out for your public approval ratings. I'm just telling you, whether it's Cash, whether it's Bongino, you name it, anybody in the Department of Justice, Pam Bondi, if they're shredding stuff, deleting stuff, absolutely not. Can't have that.
Nope.
Yeah, but
Can't
honestly,
have it.
guys, how likely do you think they're going to release all the information that they have back there?
I said it a long time ago. We'll know 20% more than what we know now about all this stuff.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah, and like you said, Todd. I mean, we love President Trump, but I mean, I don't know how much of it he is going to know, and he's just going to say, just release everything, and we'll let the fallout go where it goes. But I think, I've said it before. I think people are smart. One-on-one, you get them in a mob situation, it turns pretty ugly once, people panic with all the stuff coming out of. There's going to be some pretty powerful people in there, whether it be famous people, people in the insurance company. I mean, all those people are involved with all those lists and all the stuff going on with the FBI. So I don't know how much of it we're actually gonna.
I agree with you, Tony, but I'm of the mind that I don't give a rat's behind who's on that list. I don't.
Oh,
care.
yeah, I don't either.
I don't
Yeah, I
care
don't
if
either.
it's Trump's son, his daughter, Republican, conservative, pastor, my next door neighbor. I don't care. I want to know who they are. Period. I want to know.
Just want the
Yeah.
truth.
Well, all
just
these
want the
people that
truth.
say that we're cultists and we're just, we're propping somebody up and we've made Trump a god or what. No, I'm telling you, we are critical thinking here. And I'm sitting here saying, and I've said it forever and ever, I'm on record for time, however long back. I'm telling you, this has got to be released, not redacted. I don't want to have anything, blotted out. I don't want any names blotted out. I don't care if the Pope or T.D. Jakes or Donald Trump is on the list.
Don't.
I want to know who is on that list. And I know there's people out there who said, well, there's going to be fallout from this. Yeah, there is. And you say, well, maybe there's people out there that say, well, we don't want to have it revealed that everything's been built on a lie, the things we believed. I don't want to go on believing a lie as the truth.
Facts.
Let me see what is up.
I mean, the Heaven's Gate people didn't realize it was a lie until too late.
Never gonna happen, gentlemen. I'm sorry. I mean,
I
would
agree with you,
I
Tony.
would like to think that they would release everything, but that's never gonna happen.
No.
There's too many powerful people in those lists, and that's never gonna happen.
I agree with you there. I mean, our government is as transparent as a freaking window curtain.
Yeah, it's like trying to look out of stained glass, man.
Yep.
Joy Reid, we had a good time with this one yesterday. Joy Reid crying on camera.
This is so
When her show was canceled, our buddy Brandon Tatum, Officer Tatum, let's just play a little bit of this because Brandon, Cry Libs Cry, CLC in the chat, Cry Libs Cry.
Oh, she crying. I can see the tears in her eyes.
Tears.
Now I'm not trying to be mean to the milk dud, to the racist milk dud. I'm not trying to be mean to the milk dud. But what I will say is that all that stuff you've been talking about MAGA, I mean, you've been hurtful in the things that you've been saying about people that support Trump, about black folks that support Trump. You've been lying about Donald Trump. You've been lying about his convictions. You've been lying about Joe Biden. You've been lying about COVID. You've been lying and lying and lying and lying. So now you're crying. I don't care. Wrote a film.
My show had value, and
No, it didn't.
No, it
that
didn't.
that what I was doing had value. And in the end, I'm sorry, I try not to cry on TV. And I say this is kind of like me on TV. So
No. And then she went on and did her final show. She had Rachel Maddow and all them on her final show. It was like a who's who deal.
Boy, they really didn't think through that title of Jen Psaki's new show, did they?
What's it even called?
Inside Jen Psaki.
That's been out for a while. You didn't know that?
No, I found that out
Dude, that's
last
been
night.
released. That was
Like-
going to be her show for a long
They
time.
didn't really think that one through.
Are you serious?
Dead serious.
Yeah, that's a real deal, man.
That
You're
shows
welcome.
you what. And Jasmine Crockett's going to say we're unintelligent?
Yeah.
Really? Because of we're not reading their theses?
Their theses made out of feces.
Inside, man, they missed an opportunity not to call it Circle Back with Jen Psaki. They should have called that Circle Back. Wow, Inside Jen Psaki?
Yeah, that's the name.
That's what that's called?
Inside with Jen Psaki, technically, but
Okay. No, it's
width
inside
is-
Gensaki with
Yeah,
me.
it is. And me too.
Yeah.
Because the inside is big, and then like you can barely see the width, and I'm just like, yes, this is great.
Stop it! This
All
is
right.
why he's not. This is why he's
Moving
not.
on.
In the,
See, that's
this is why he's
exactly
not
why
in the
he's not
press
at the
pool.
White House. Yeah,
That's why he's not in the White House.
That's the question. That's the question I would ask.
All right, let's get to the thing that really made the news yesterday. The guy that I'll be honest with you, I used to do a
Makes
lot
me
of
mad.
events. What's that?
This makes me mad.
Yeah, it makes me mad. This is a guy that I used to do a lot of events with. Graham Allen used to do a lot of events with him. Disappointing what the man became. I think it's what he always was. I think he had a lot of people deceived. He is the congressman that represents my district, District 2 here in Texas, Dan Crenshaw. He is the epitome of rhino. You look it up. I think he is Harvey Dent in the Batman comic books. He is two-faced. He talks out of both sides of his mouth. But I don't know what level of unhinged alcoholism but his marbles are rolling all over the floor. This guy can't get out of his own way. I mean, his PR director needs to quit. This guy is insane. His off the reservation rants that he does on X are ridiculous. But this is what he had to say when asked on a hot mic about Tucker Carlson. Play this.
Thank you.
Have you ever met Tucker?
We've talked a lot. If I ever meet him, I'll find him. He's the worst person. Thank you.
All right, for those of you
Have you ever met Tucker?
For those, he says, have you ever met Tucker? He says, we've talked a lot on Twitter, and he goes, if I ever meet him, I'm going to effing kill him. And then he says, seriously, a horrible person. And then he goes on to say, it's not on this clip where he says, I'm not joking. He goes, I'm going to effing kill him.
He does actually say it on this clip. He says immediately after he says, I'm going to kill him, he stands up and he goes, I'm not joking. He's the worst person.
And let me,
The worst person.
Listen.
I'm not joking. And
Yeah,
let me
right there he
just,
says it.
this is bad enough because he is a politician, but let me tell you why it's way worse. Because this dude is a Navy SEAL. Like, he is a prior Navy SEAL, a prior veteran, and you should know better. Like, I mean, you should know better. If you worn the uniform and you have the kind of training that this man does, they don't make idle threats like this. That's why when he said that, with his background, I believed it. He meant that. Like, there's no doubt he meant that. And as
Now,
a veteran, he should know better.
I'm actually confused because I know for a fact that Tucker Carlson doesn't even have X downloaded on his phone. He doesn't run any of his social medias. So do you know of these past X conversations that they've had?
No, I don't. But I do know that Tucker has been, he has vehemently called him out in the past. Crenshaw isn't a good dude. There's a lot of history there. Listen, I've seen his unhinged rants. I've seen, the stuff that he goes after people. I mean, there's a video of restaurant. There's a restaurant 20 minutes from here that does a lot of political events. I've spoken at it numerous times where a little girl came up and asked Crenshaw a question, and he blasted this little preteen girl. The video's out there. You can see it. I've seen him just become unhinged numerous times. He's ranted at people. I mean, my girlfriend CJ, he's blasted her, sent her personal messages, and then blocked her. Who blocks their own constituent for calling him out on something? Here was the deal right here. Can you play a little bit of this clip?
Crenshaw said, quote, "The most important thing here is that we have important hero archetypes that we look up to. Jesus is a hero archetype. Superman is a hero archetype. Real characters, too. I could name 1,000. Rosa Parks, Ronald Reagan," end quote. I can't wrap my head around this.
Well, I'll help you. Put a period after the word Jesus and don't question my faith.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I've never seen that. That dude is a douche canoe.
Yeah, he is.
Chad, can you give us a little background? Because you said you've done events with him. I don't know much about Crenshaw. I mean, I've heard Graham talk about him and Todd talk about him, but I don't really know. I mean, what happened to him? He got elected obviously because he seems to be a certain type of person, but you're saying he's a rhino now. Can you give us a little bit of background there?
Well, I think he's always been a rhino, but here's the thing. The guy ran on his military record. He's obviously a wounded veteran. He was a Navy SEAL. The guy has he's got a military record that he ran on that was supposedly stellar. That's fine. Now you got a lot of people in the SEAL teams who have come out and said, nah, not so much. I mean, like Eddie Gallagher came out and said whenever he was being persecuted by the government and being imprisoned,
he didn't help at all.
He didn't help at all. In fact, he ignored him. Now there are some other people that are in the teams that are, they say, well, we got Crenshaw's back, but not because of his politics, but simply because he was in the SEAL teams. So ever since he's been in there, he was supported red flags laws. He and I had a whiskey one night in Fort Worth, Texas, and I brought that up to him. I said, let's discuss this position on red flag laws. Now, don't get me wrong, Dan Crenshaw is an intelligent guy, but so is Satan. All right? This guy, he knows how to sway people. He did the deal where he got called out by Pete Davidson on Saturday Night Live. Then he made an appearance on Saturday Night Live, and that basically set the tone for the rest of his career. He became a political Republican celebrity. Everybody was lauding him, and then he gets in there and he starts touting things like red flag laws. He starts going out into all this kind of stuff where he's basically just gets unhinged on the stuff that he says, and you can always tell when he's had a little too much alcohol. The guy, obviously, he's drinking too much, man. I mean, there's no other explanation for this thing because nobody that's a sitting congressman is going to go unhinged on people the way that he does. I mean, he's blasted people. There is time after time, you can go out and look it up, where he has just come after people, dropping the F-bombs and everything else. I mean, it's insane, the stuff that he's done. And so now you have people like people have tried to primary him. I think it'd be easy to primary him. A lot of people are in the chat right now, so you can go out and primary him. Well, listen, you don't just jump in. You don't just, if I'm going to primary him, I ain't going to make that announcement right here today. Okay? Yeah. There's a lot of people that I've been working with closely to strategically get rid of Dan Crenshaw in Congress, okay? District 2 here in Texas, which is north of Houston, it's a gerrymandered district. If you look at I dare somebody to look up the map of District 2 in Texas. It's like one big horseshoe. They drew that map specifically so the money and the lobbies and all the stuff could go directly to a guy like this who would support their causes. Now, if you want to know how he stays in power, if you're going to beat Dan Crenshaw, it's going to take deep, deep, deep pockets. And let me tell you why. Because not only has he got the name and face recognition, and you got a lot of uneducated voters, particularly when it comes to a political primary, but you have a lot of lobbyists, that are backing him up. The way that in that district, actually, the way that's drawn right there is not the current accurate one, I don't think. It's going to extend over a little bit more, but there's no reason for that district to be drawn the way that it is, because it's got all kind of little fingers that run all over the place. Crenshaw, people want to defend Crenshaw. They want to do it based on, and listen, I don't take anything away from somebody's military record.
Well, let me help you there. Okay, it's the difference between a Dan Crenshaw and a Jesse Ventura and a Pete Hegseth and a Graham Allen. And I'm sorry if this hurts your feelings, get over it. But if you've got a veteran out there that's puffing their chest out and poking their chest out, that's sussed. But with Pete Hegseth and Graham Allen, you have to Google those guys to figure out their military history and what they've done.
Yeah.
These people that go out and taunt and tout their military careers, it's always sus. It's always suspect. Period.
Yeah.
Period.
So there's some good quality people. I'm talking with a number of people who are here in this district. There's some good quality people in this district. Martin Etwop has already put in his hat in the ring to run. Jameson Ellis, who got about 40% of the vote last time, I think like 40% of the vote last time, is talking about moving back into the district. Gunther Eagleman has talked about coming into the district and running. You got some lady that's got an AI picture of herself who uses a different name than a real one, who says she's in the thing. She's starting to get a lot of support. We have our state representative, Steve Toth, Christian Collins, who runs the Youth Summit, Texas Youth Summit every year. There's some people who are pushing me to run. I'm really not interested in that. I'd much rather throw my weight behind somebody that I think can actually get the job done and be focused on it. There's a lot of stuff that's going on, but Dan Crenshaw's got to go. You can't, and beyond that, guys, beyond that, and I don't care. I'm not disrespecting anybody's service record. I'm never going to do that. I'm not the guy to do that. But I will tell you this:
I will.
He needs to be. You can do that. I can't do that. He needs to be censured. He needs to be thrown out of Congress for that statement right there. You can't be a sitting congressman and threaten a citizen journalist and say, if I ever met him, I would murder him. You can't say that.
No.
And follow up with, I'm not joking.
Yeah,
Not joking.
I don't care if you're in the military or not. And let me just go on record here by saying, just because you wore a uniform in your life doesn't mean you can't be a piece of garbage.
Of course.
All right. I'm sorry. Like your military service to me has nothing to do with your character. Period. End of discussion. Just because you wore a uniform, you were a Navy SEAL, you've got a Bronze Star, a Purple Heart, or whatever award you have, doesn't mean you have character.
That's right.
That does not mean that. And I'll say it for you.
I've known a lot of people that are current and former military that aren't good people.
Exactly.
That's true. But again, I'm not talking about him as a person. I'm just talking about his record. I'm not going to speak to his record. I'm not going to dishonor his record. But this guy, he's been through some stuff. There's probably some PTS that's going on. You add alcohol into that. This guy, he's unhinged. He's got no, and Graham's done events with him. I've done events with him. He's just gotten he's gotten off the reservation, dude. And you can't say stuff like this.
No.
And I mean, it's just like somebody that says I'm a disabled veteran, not because you did something overseas. It's because a transmission fell out of a Jeep in Kansas while you were working on it.
Man, don't even get me started.
There's a big difference on that. So, anyway, this is horrible, dude. I mean, this he needs to be censored. He needs to be kicked. He shouldn't even have an opportunity to be in a primary next go round.
Not after that.
It's just too bad that we have people like that, because obviously, we try to see the Republican Party as being unified, and we know that's not true. I mean, we have the Mitch McConnells and, the Crenshaws. Again, I don't know much about him, but, from what you're saying here, doesn't sound like he's a good dude, or he just seems like a rhino. And it's hard to get stuff done and unifying the Republican Party, which I think we have a good opportunity to do that with all the good things that the administration is doing so far. And then you have people like this that are just giving us a bad, bad flavor, bad taste in our mouth. So yeah, it sucks.
Yeah. This was the thing. Go back one more to that deal there. He got community noted because Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I called him out. I was actually trending yesterday because I called him out on this thing. And I said, did you lie about this? And so Marjorie Taylor Greene said, did you threaten to kill my friend Tucker Carlson? And he said, LOL, no. Then he got community noted.
Big time.
Said readers said that he did indeed threaten to kill Tucker Carlson. This ain't over. I mean, this ain't over. This is a major deal. Mm-hmm. And he keeps putting his foot in his mouth in a way that I don't understand why he keeps on doing it. I mean, but he does. He keeps on doing it.
Because I'm tired of saying I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
Maybe they've gotten to a point, and a lot of people do this. They get to a point where they're above accountability and above consequence.
It's a double whammy for Dan Crenshaw. Number one, he feels like he's untouchable because of his military career and his Navy SEAL status. Number two, he got into a position of authority, and now he's double untouchable. So this dude literally feels like, obviously, I mean, he just like blessed out like a child. Yeah. And now he's threatening to kill Tucker Carlson. It's a double whammy. His head is bigger than any hat that could ever fit on it, and somebody needs to put the jackass in his place. And I'll gladly volunteer as tribute.
Dadgum, man. Todd woke up and chose violence.
Yeah, he did.
I like it.
I thought it rolled today.
I like it. And I like the side of you. It's sexy.
Do that, man.
It's sexy, Todd.
Can't do it.
Hot seat, sexy Todd. I'll say this, boys. Tucker did respond and say, "Why don't you come on the show? Here's my address. We'll talk about it. We'll see what's up." Tucker would absolutely own him on his record alone.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah, he'd own him on his record alone. Hanoi Jane Fonda, for those of you old enough to remember her sitting on a anti-aircraft gun that was owned by the Viet Cong. She got the Lifetime Achievement Award for the SAGs. Garbage is going to keep on garbaging, and that's exactly what she did. Here's what she had to say when they keep doubling down on their nonsense. Here she has her definition of woke. People, here it is.
Make no mistake, empathy is not weak or woke. And by the way, woke just means you give a damn about other people.
Is that what it means? Is that what it
Pretty
means,
sure.
Jane?
Pretty
You
sure.
crypt keeper, you 900-year-old Methuselah crypt keeper. I mean, really, your brain's been eaten by Agent Orange, Jane. The woke mind virus is in there. Woke just means you give a damn about people. No, that's not what it means.
Yeah.
It's not what it means.
You should already be in prison for treason after what you did to those folks in Vietnam, you piece of trash.
Yeah. Somebody said that Crenshaw votes with Trump 90% of the time. Well, you know, the thing about truth and error, they aren't crosstown rivals. They live next door to each other. And it's real easy for you to, if you drop one little bit of poison in your water, you can have 90% water. It's that 10% that'll kill you.
Mm-hmm.
It's that 10% that'll kill you, folks. You got to wake up. It's got to be some common sense. And listen, whether you disagree or agree with Trump or whatever, there still has to be critical thought that's in that. You can't go around saying, I'm going to effing murder a citizen journalist.
Yeah, there's a big difference in. It's not hard to be a good little Republican when you the voting is easy. The voting part is easy. You just vote with your party every time. That's not difficult. It's being a good person.
Mm-hmm.
It's being a good person and having character and the ability to not say stupid crap like that to kids or on a hot mic on a camera.
Yeah.
The hard part is being good in public, not the voting. The voting's
That's
easy.
true. Yep, good point, Royce. Yep.
Do you remember when Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin were on The View? Let's go back to that story.
Oh, God.
This was last year. They had a movie coming out. Let me remind you guys what she said on The View. This is her woke just means you give a damn about people. Let's see if she gives a damn about people here. Play the clip.
We're not going back. I don't care what the laws are. We're not going back.
The women will rise up.
That's the activist.
That's Jane
Speaking, and she probably will get a Nobel Prize.
But it's the truth.
Very soon.
It is the truth. We're not going to do it.
Besides
We're gonna
marching and protesting, what else do you suggest?
Well,
it doesn't happen overnight. It's not a miraculous. What did you say?
Murder.
She's kidding. Wait a second. She's just kidding.
don't say that.
Oh, you don't know. They'll pick up on that and just run with it.
the worst.
She's just kidding. It's
Well, let me talk to you about.
Yeah, she ain't kidding.
We're not going.
She ain't kidding.
No.
So,
Wait, are they arguing for pro-life? Is that what this? I've never seen this clip before. Is that what it is?
Yeah. They're basically saying they're going to
Oh my
murder.
gosh. How I would
What is
love.
the deal with old ladies wearing teal?
And I don't understand. She looks like Lord Helmet from Spaceballs with that purple head.
She's wearing nothing but teal in that.
How many people would be so happy, and how I would love if our Savior Jesus Christ came down right then and said, please explain to me how murdering unborn babies, justify that to me. Just justify the blessing of life that I'm giving you guys here, please. And then just touching their head and blink, you're dead.
You know what? We could probably save the planet for an extra 20 years if we could recycle all the plastic that's in her body and face. Honestly, she could. Do you know how many 2-liter bottles are in that face?
Oh, Lord have mercy. Yeah.
Wow.
I guarantee you her belly button's around like her throat right now. That face has been lifted so much.
Did you say Lord Helmet?
Yeah, she does.
Lord Helmet. A Spaceball reference.
You're welcome.
There you go.
Ludicrous speed.
All right. Let's move it. I love you guys. Listen, our numbers are down a little bit today. Don't be discouraged. People are still trying to find Dear America. Boys, I'm going to tell you guys on air. We're going to do a little production meeting right here in front of everybody. Make sure we share on our socials that everybody goes to Dear America. And I want to encourage everybody else that's listening, watching, whatever, get on your social media and remind everybody that Graham Allen has had a name change. If you're searching it on Rumble or if you're looking on YouTube and you're looking to subscribe, it is now Dear America. So if you go to rumble.com, it's /Dear America. So jump into the super chats. We'll get to those in a minute. $5 gets your chat read, and we'll answer your question. Let's do a feel-good section before we get out of here.
Yes.
I like this video right here. Here's a guy who says, you know what? I like Trump. I like Trump. And this shouldn't be such a radical thing for a guy that looks like this to say what a guy that looks like this says. So play the clip.
Like Donald Trump. There, I said it.
Little wrist flip.
I do. I like him. He's funny. He's funny to me. He makes me laugh. He's funny. He's funny. Like, come on, he's funny. He told that lady, "You better." You better go crazy. You better. Well, you better. Like, come on, y'all laughed. And then she came back with "See you in court." With the cheers, she said, "See you in court." Come on, like, that's my type of carrying on. Like, this is the type of USA.
That's just a whole lot of nonsense right
You
there.
know
I
what?
love it.
He might be one half of Milli Vanilli, but he makes sense.
By God.
I like it.
Dude, a little funny story. Yesterday, I was pumping gas, and gentleman right
For
next
who?
to me, for everybody. I was out there with my tip jar, and I was like, "Hey, anybody need me to pump your gas for you?" You know.
Why did
anyways,
you turn, whoa, time out,
Do you
time
want
out,
synthetic?
time out.
Do you want synthetic?
Why did you turn Indian all of a sudden?
That was Mexican.
It was kind of Mexican. Yeah, well, I was taught us because I went to go get a Slurpee at 7-Eleven afterwards, so that's why.
Checking.
Anyways, so I was pumping gas, and the gentleman next to me, he was like he commented to me. He goes, "Can you believe how cheap gas is?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's actually, it's coming down." And he started talking to me, and the lady in front of me starts talking to me, and she's like, and they both at the same time. He's like, promises made, promises kept."
Yeah.
And it was like, and the gentleman was like, "You're not a Biden supporter by any chance, are you?" He's like, "No." I was like, "No, we voted for Trump." And he goes,
they judged
yes,
you.
and it's just so like people are excited to see all the changes happening around the country. I mean, we're here in South Carolina, anyways. You can just see it that people are just, they are on board with what he's doing, and it's awesome to see, man.
Yeah, and don't forget James Carville said that got 30 days before Trump falls apart. Speaking of impersonations, this guy, he's a little over the top. We saw him go after little Bobby De Niro. Now he's going after Alec Baldwin, your favorite president. If I'd have been Alec Baldwin, I'd have probably punched this guy, but whatever.
Dead in the mouth.
Let's play the clip. This guy totally trolls.
Alec, it's your favorite president. Look, Alec, I will offer you a total pardon, because I want to be friends, right? I want to be friends. I will give you a total pardon for murdering that woman if you kiss the ring. Kiss the ring, Alec. Kiss the big, beautiful ring. Come on, Alec. Come on, look at Alec Baldwin, right? He did that impersonation of me. It was not too hot, not too good. But look, we're back in office. You lost. Kamala lost. She's somewhere getting intoxicated. Look at that suitcase. Unbelievable. Well, Alec, if you don't want that pardon for murdering that woman in cold blood, you can call it first degree. You can call it whatever you want, but it was not good. She's looking down on me right now, smiling, happy.
Wow.
Thank you for confronting the man who took me out, who killed me, and that's okay.
Wow.
Sure.
You realize, by the
Whoa.
way, no, look at me. I want you to look at me.
Sure.
You got a camera on me here?
The ring? No, it's the ring.
But you realize my kids live in this building, right? But I want you to know something.
We love the children. We're doing great deals for the children.
Listen to me real careful.
Okay.
If this camera wasn't here, I'd snap your fucking neck in half and break your fucking neck right. So you know that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin, ladies and gentlemen, class act. Believe me.
I'm not.
Believe me. Okay. Oh, he's yelling at me. I'm a citizen of this. I was born and raised in New York City. I love you, Alec. Alec, look, Alec, you don't want to attack your favorite president, Alec. Look, I love you. I love you, Alec. He's got more balls than De Niro, that I can tell you. De Niro ran away. Alec confronted. That's good.
Now, I'll just say that I would be okay. I don't like Alec Baldwin, but I would be okay if he'd have punched him.
Me
like,
too.
I'd have been okay
I would
with
have
it.
too. I don't think anybody deserves that. It's not like he was on the Diddy list, and I don't know how to feel about the whole cameraman. Like, from what I've seen, I don't think he meant to do it. Right? It was an accident. There was some gun people who made a mistake and put a real bullet in there. And obviously he's done some things against the Republican Party that I don't agree with, but that's no reason to treat him like this. If this guy was Hunter Biden, then 100% go for it. But this is just wrong. Like,
Well, it's wrong, and let me tell you why it's wrong. Again, I don't have to tell y'all why it's wrong. But to me, this is why it's wrong. Someone did lose their life. I don't think that Alec Baldwin purposefully shot that woman. That director of that movie. I think there was a lot of stuff that went on. There were a lot of mistakes that were made, but someone did lose their life. And you're mocking that loss of life in that situation. You guys may disagree with me in the chat.
No, I
I actually feel bad. As much as I don't like Alec Baldwin's political views or whatever, I actually feel bad for the dude in this situation because I don't think, it kind of ruined his career. And he has to face stuff like this. Like, I do feel bad for him. I think he's hot trash when it comes to his political views. But as a human being, like, this sucks, man. This sucks. I don't feel bad for someone like Hunter Biden, but I do feel bad for him.
Two things. Number one, if you want to talk to Alec Baldwin like that, fine. But you're in his bubble, man. Like, you're in my bubble.
You're in the space.
Like you're in my bubble, and I'm gonna get you out of my bubble real quick.
Yeah.
And number two, this is what social media has created. It's created a generation of kids that don't get punched in the mouth for things that come out of their fingers. Like, I'm sorry, this not
and you're
accountability.
Starting to see.
Yeah.
You're starting to see people. There was a guy, that prankster, that got shot when he wouldn't leave the guy alone. That happened last year. And again, I don't like Alec Baldwin. I think he probably is guilty of manslaughter. I don't think he purposefully, murdered the woman. But
I will say he definitely did say he didn't pull the trigger. He definitely did. He definitely fired the gun like he was supposed to. But he didn't know there was a bullet in there. There wasn't supposed to be a bullet in there.
Should have been checked long before it got to him.
Yeah,
he should have checked it. But
I'm not taking up for Alec Baldwin on that instance because he's been an actor for a very, very long time, and you know the difference between a loaded gun and a gun that's not loaded, like just by the weight. So I'm not taking up for him on that because he is a piece of trash. But that kid still should have got punched in the throat.
Yeah, I mean, but again, my thing is the woman who got killed. Again, to bring her into it, I felt that was you're not only in his bubble, but
I don't know how to feel about this whole situation. Yes, Chad, I agree with you. I think he was being funny up until he brought her name into it. Obviously, you don't disrespect the memory of the person that lost their lives. I mean, whatever comedic thing you have going on, obviously it's still a sore issue here. I mean, look at how he kind of snapped right after that, and he went after him. So. I mean, I don't know. None of us know Alec Baldwin, and he could be a total POS. But if if it was an accident, like he said it was, I mean, I don't know when you take somebody's life like that and it's an accident. I don't know how you live with yourself every day, getting up, day in and day out.
There should have been consequences. There should have been consequences. I mean, he got off. I mean, that whole thing, he got off. Obviously, that's a piece of privilege that he had. And I'm not defending the guy. I think he's garbage. But again, like when this guy trolled, we showed it the other day when he trolled Robert De Niro. I thought that was a great troll.
Yeah, that's
good.
But
bringing a dead person into it, I'm like,
Well, and not to mention he was behind a wall, talking from the other side of a fence, and that's fine. I got no problem because these famous people, they go through that every day. Paparazzi yelling crazy stuff at them and things. That's fine. This dude literally walked up to a grown man. I'm just telling you.
Well, I'm just saying I could troll the guy without bringing a dead person into it.
Yeah.
Like that's the deal.
But when all is said and done, if any of us would have shot a gun that we didn't know was loaded and took somebody's life, we'd be in jail. All four of us. So
sure.
money talks, dude. So
But I'd have just spun. Like if I was Alec, I would have just spun real quick and made that hand touch me and just. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't. My bad. You okay? Okay. All right. You got that on camera, right? He touched me first.
All right, boys. Let's see. I think we're good. We'll move over into the super chats, and I love the discussion. We got plenty of discussion in there. Don't forget, we are the Dear America show on Rumble. Dear America on Rumble. Don't do it. And I want to remind you guys, hang with us in the super chats. My show today at 2. Todd's, of course, got the hot seat this afternoon. Meggie Moo, and we got other things to talk about, but. Don't forget, text Graham to 989898 Birch Gold, and also patriotmobile.com/Graham. Use promo code Graham. Todd, since you chose violence today, choose repentance now and pray for us. Okay, why don't you just
probably do need to speak to the Lord quick.
Let's have a conversation with God.
Absolutely, Father. We just thank you for another glorious day, another day that we get to spend together here on your beautiful, glorious, wonderful creation. Father, we thank you for all the sacrifices that are being made just to go out and spread the word of your son, Jesus Christ, and the sacrifices that he's made. Lord, we pray for Graham, Dan Bongino, everybody in those camps. Lord, we ask that you put your blanket of protection over them, that you keep them safe and give them the boldness, the courage and empowerment to go out there and do what needs to be done, to cash the checks that needs to be cashed to get this country back on the right track. And Father, I just ask that you lead those men in the direction that they need to go to do the job that only you can do. Father, we love you. We thank you for all that you do. And if there is somebody out there that is listening to the sound of my voice that has never met you, that does not know you, Father, I ask that you go to those individuals and you reveal yourself to them and help somebody in their path, help them make an eternal decision today. Father, we love you, and we thank you for all that you do. And it's in your son's name we pray, and all God's people said,
Amen.
Amen.
Super chat time.
Let's do it.
Super chat.
Or as Alyssa would say, Super Y. The Wolfman. When Todd gets the chance to become White House press secretary, he's going to dress and talk as the defensive coach from The Waterboy. Ain't that bad. See how the left likes it when you can't understand someone. Hey, that's a valid point. Again, also, Todd, I've done a bunch of work for a few antique dealers down in Ripley, Aberdeen, and Macomb. Love those places. Keep up the great work, guys. Love y'all. Raise hell, praise Dale. Macomb Aberdeen ain't but about 15 minutes from here, so cool. Z-Dog 75. Love the pen you got there, Todd. Guys, go on Amazon, search Zizzo, Z-I-Z-O, Zizzo Trump lapel pen, and you'll see the pen with a little $sign pen next to it. Zizzo. Drummer for God, looking for someone to love and call Pookie. But if she doesn't know Graham Allen, then she's a dookie. P.S. Chad, you're doing a great job.
Wow.
That's pretty good. It's a haiku, ladies and gentlemen.
It is an onomatopoeia.
Sack it, mama. Wouldn't it be great if Cash just had his own copies of everything backed up and he just let people run amok to weed out the ones who needs to go? Oh, that would be epic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be great.
That'd be genius. Yep.
From Mamoose. Maybe we should start retweeting Chad's ex posts about the Epstein Diddy's list. Start making them trend all day until they're released. I agree with that statement.
Yeah.
Alicia Victoria. Since Joy's show has been canceled, could The View be next? I hate when abortion is turned into a joke. Yeah.
Agreed.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
I think The View is getting propped up.
I agree with that.
You know, I can't prove it because I've tried to prove it. I've tried to do a deep dive to see if some of that, USAID money might be floating around there somewhere. But I got questions.
Yeah. Miss Lovegood, Ricky Gervais said once during his Golden Globes opening speech, you're in no position to make political statements, so thank your God and your agent and get the F off. I was great. Greatest speech in, Hollywood history
Incredible.
Right there. MX Wife, great show today, guys. Prayers today for me. 6-month checkup for my diabetes. 44 years ago yesterday, I was diagnosed. I've been blessed for sure. Thank you in advance. Prayers for you.
Praying, yeah.
Wow.
Party Foul. Love y'all. Hashtag Party Foul Steve. See you this afternoon on the Chad Prather Show.
Party Foul knows what's up. I get to look over here. Every now and then I have to look over there and see if he's awake because he's snoring while he's awake. He breathes deep over there with the headphones on. Party Foul Steve on the Chad Prather Show. Y'all get to know him. Follow him.
T-Fred. I just want to let it be known that the governor, Kathy Hochul, is threatening to arrest state COs who are on strike for unsafe working conditions. Just another example of how bad New York needs to go red.
And they would if it wasn't for Manhattan.
That's a fact. Tarzan Cowboy. I disagree with Todd sounding like the guy from The Waterboy. That's a Cajun accent, not Southern. There you go.
Another thing.
Yeah, I'd go more like Billy Bob and Sling Blade.
He ain't no bigger than that little old squirrel.
I like them fried taters.
And them mustard biscuits.
See, NCAB. Missed the show for a week and everyone disappears. Dan's in the FBI. Graham, the Patriot Hammer, leaves his tag team partner, Chad McSparkles. What in the works, or was this all of a sudden? Well, I don't know about Dan Bongino, but we kind of knew about Graham.
We kind of knew about it starting back in November. But we didn't know everything, so we weren't lying to you. We just couldn't tell you. We legally could not tell you. And also, let me just encourage everybody. We don't know what Bongino's going to do. Obviously, his show, as you know it right now, is going to take a pause. It's going to take a hiatus. So I hope that you guys will have a few laughs with us, and maybe some of that market share that's been going to Dan Bongino will come over to the Dear America show. We're not going anywhere, hanging out and having a good time. We're trying to bring you the trending headlines, at least, in this show. So hopefully you guys will jump over here with us.
Yeah.
Tell your friends that. That's what we need you to do. Share it.
Jody Hart. Royce, I know this is off topic, but can you please tell me how to get the American flag emoji in my YouTube chat and Rumble? I adore all of you. Your sense of humors are awesome. I love how much I learn from you.
Thank you, Jody.
On Rumble, it should just pop up. Like, I can see
what you'll do
chat.
is down there in your message box, if you see the little smiley face next to it, if you'll click on that, it will pull up the emojis and you'll see the most common use. And I love that Maggie Moo's potato is there. I'm going to click one in there right now and send it. And then they should show up below your message chat box.
And then on YouTube, just the flag emoji. Same sort of deal. Just find the flag emoji and send it. They don't have a like Rumble has here.
Yeah, my American flag emoji is right next to the subscribe button. Like it's like right there. I don't even have to go.
I use the pop-out chat, so I'm sitting here looking at my
I still don't
screen.
understand the potato stuff, but
I don't understand Maggie Moo, but here we are. Here we are. I love you, Megan. On the subject, she'll be on there tonight.
Carolyn Renee Fufgerson.
Don't try.
Yeah, I'm not.
Fufgerson.
Yeah, $9.99 from Carolyn Renee Fufgerson.
Fufgerson. That's my favorite name. I'm John Fufgerson.
John Fufgerson.
Oh my God.
Yeah, all right. NZAB, I think that's just trying to get somebody to get me to cuss. What do you actually think is holding up the release of these documents? There may be fallout, but it isn't on the Trump team. Would they be held up as a beacon of transparency? I think at this point it's got to be on the Trump team. He ran on this platform. Like, what are you waiting on?
I can't for the life of me, and again, I'm not that deep of a person because I get surprised all the time by things that pop out. I can't imagine what is in this list that would be. I mean, but we talk about the easy people like Bill Clinton. We talk about Bill Clinton.
Yeah, that's a layup.
That's a layup. I mean, he didn't go to the island 38 times for the jet skis, okay? I'm trying to think of who is, I mean, are they trying to protect someone in this administration? Is it, I don't know. It's all speculation, guys. We're not for or against anybody at this point unless you're on that list. Then I'm against you. But I don't care who you are if you're on that list. And again, not list of acquaintances, clients. There's a big difference in that. We already know acquaintances.
People are saying that's Prince Harry. That's the issue.
Well, that's
retarded.
retarded.
To protect the royal
Why
family.
would that be the issue, though? Nobody cares about Harry Markles.
Not at all.
I care about Harry. Chad, how dare you?
I don't care who it is. Casey.
I don't care if it's Donald Trump. I want to know.
I really don't. If I want to get a subscription, do I need to sign up for Dear America and not Graham Allen now? Love you guys. Thank you. That's going to convert over, guys. It's the
It'll
same
convert
thing.
over.
Dear
It's the
America,
same,
Graham Allen.
same account. We just
everything.
changed the name to Dear America rather than Graham Allen's. You guys don't have to do anything but show up to Dear America.
Just show up. And just in your favorites or whatever, in your search box or up at your URL, rumble.com/Dear America. Your subscriptions are going to carry over because you're subscribed. Your subscription's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Leslie Blackman, you guys make my day. Love y'all. Love you too.
That's awesome.
Cindy Lordery.
People talking about Graham being gone from Rumble. Graham's gone from everywhere except Instagram and
Everywhere.
X. And we do encourage you to follow at Graham Allen DOD. That is his new official X. I'm going to D.C. tomorrow, so maybe I'll run into Graham. I doubt it. They keeping him. He's in a bunker.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah, they're experimenting on him with that Captain America serum, trying to really make the Patriot hammer. Cindy Lordery, thanks for the truth and the laughs. Valerie. Someone comments on my post the other day and said, Jesus was woke, right? I'm curious if you know what they mean. Yeah, that means they take Epitard because Jesus wasn't woke.
That is one of the most insulting things I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it means in terms of Jesus, but anyways, that's all the super chats.
That's it.
Love it, love it, love it, love it,
Call
love
the
it.
most perfect person a woke person.
You know what's cool? Is by this afternoon when we do the Chad Prather show at 2/1 Central, there'll be all new headlines. That's how fast things are moving. Got another super chat just popped up. Couple of them.
There's
right
a
there.
couple
Let's
of
see
them
them.
actually. They will not be able to prosecute without a tainted jury pool. Automatic grounds for dismissal if the public hears they were involved prior to prosecution.
They're talking about the
The
list.
list,
The
I
list.
guess.
I
guess. Striker J, this is why they can't release the list until they have asset in place to arrest all these individuals before they disappear. King Charles, Rockefellers, J.P. Morgan need assets in place to arrest. Maybe. But I mean, maybe.
And how many of them are going to find, like King Charles and what's his brother's name, Andrew? I mean, they're going to get lots of immunity. I mean, they've already the royal family disassociated themselves with Prince Andrew. I mean, the evidence was so strong. I mean, they took his title away and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what they do? Slap him on the wrist?
Yeah, he's walking free.
Yep, exactly. It's all about the money, man. Money, money, money.
All right. Gosh, it's crazy. All right, guys, lots of stuff going on in our world. We're gonna break it down some more. You know, the Chad Prather Show, if you've never been a part of it in the afternoons, it's a lot more laid back. I mean, we're pretty laid back here, but, you know, we talk about kind of stream of consciousness stuff. Todd was on there yesterday, had a good time. And
yeah, we did.
And, we just figured out. So Party Foul Steve's on there, and there's tons of stuff going on. So I hope you guys will check it out. Tony, give us some final words, my brother. Before you go pump that gas.
I gotta go pump the gas, and I gotta go do some yard work too. So I gotta go cut people's yards. Actually, you know what? Stereotypical. I've been doing a bunch of projects at my house. I just did a backsplash this last week. I did, all kinds of Hispanic things that construction stuff. So.
I heard Party Foul laughing in the back.
I'm pretty sore, man. I'm pretty sore. But my wife has a list for me. I'm pretty. My shoulders are killing me. My neck's killing me.
Did you time yourself?
I did not time myself. No.
You should have started a stopwatch.
No.
Can we please get one of those ice jackets for Tony?
Yep. Anyways, everybody have a blessed day. Is what I'm saying.
Hey, man, I love you, Tony.
We'll see you all tomorrow.
Wow.
Todd?
From Sheila May, I celebrated my 53rd birthday this past Saturday, and it's gone. Happy birthday, Sheila May.
Happy birthday. There it is right there.
There it is. And our great President Washington's birthday. My brother was yesterday. His grandson was born on the 21st. I'm telling you, amazing people are born in February. That's all I'm saying.
That's what they say.
I was born in February.
Me too.
One of my daughters, one of my 18 daughters, was born in February.
Wow.
Well, you can check me out. I'll come on right after Chad at 3 o'clock Central 3 o'clock Central 4 Eastern. And I think that the Potato Girl is hanging out with me today. So
Maggie Moo?
Check it out. I think Maggie Moo's hanging out with me today. So we'll see.
All right. Good deal. Royce, what you got, baby?
Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in today. I know the numbers are low. We made the big announcement yesterday, but this is why we need you guys to continue to share and comment and show up, because this show can be successful. And we know that you guys love this show, and we can make it happen, and we want to keep doing it. So see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for showing up and continuing to show up. Love you all.
Yeah. You guys can get my Doge shirt over at redpillchad.com.
I love that shirt.
Do a little shopping around. We got some fun stuff over there. It's a good time. Todd's got a hot seat page over there as well. Go check them out. You'll search around and find it. Watchchad.com for all the fun stuff is. I will see you guys this afternoon at 2/1 Central. We love you. God bless you. We'll talk to you then. Thanks for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you later. Bye.